how to make sure you get everything done, both in terms of the day-to-day and the bigger picture, more strategic work, and how to make sure that you don't feel guilty all the time that you're not doing enough. So I'm going to do a demo of Asana today, and more specifically how we use the different functions of Asana in terms of, I guess I'll give you an insight into my brain and how I try to keep all those multitude of thoughts organised. So what we found was, when we started really scaling up the property business, it went from being able to manage our task list on a piece of paper to actually realising that I was rewriting lists all the time, which is really not efficient. And as Dave started to work in the business more with me as well, we were needing to assign tasks to one another, which, if you haven't got a good system for doing that, it can end up meaning that you're sitting in bed and you say to the other person, "Oh, have you paid that invoice?" So we don't want our life talking about invoices when we're trying to go to bed. So this has really helped us to manage all of the day-to-day tasks that are to do with the business. Also help us to manage the team, and also the team to manage us as well. So it's completely fundamental. So the tool that we use for our internal task management is called Asana. The rule in our business is that you don't say or think that you're going to do anything without simultaneously adding it to Asana. So I'm going to give you a whistle-stop tour through the different areas of Asana and how we use it to keep a clear head, which is really important if you're the business owner, because you need to be able to see what's going on and to be able to make decisions without feeling overwhelmed. So the first place to start, so if you're not using Asana or tool, or you're not using any task management system at the moment, then here's the place to start. So this is your task list. So even if at the moment you were just to start by using this, you can very simply add a task for whatever you need to remember to do. Follow up on station road viewing offer, whatever it is. And then you can assign it to yourself, and then you can also put a due date on it too. So assigned to, you can also get all of your different team members on there as well. And then you can put due dates. So if it's just you at the beginning, it's obviously just going to be assigned to you. But the thing that really is very helpful is that you can put tasks in not just for like this week, but you can go very far into the future. So it's really helpful for if you think that you need to do something, or you need to remember to do something, but now is not yet the time. You can put a task in way in for the future. So it's out your brain, in your system for managing tasks, and away you go. So this is how we just started using it, just literally assigning tasks to each other. It was quite ad hoc, but at least it gets that information out of your brain and into something that can help to manage your brain for you, I guess. You can also, if you're assigning tasks to each other, you can ask questions, which is quite a good record for any back and forward that you've got. So, what are you on about, Jackie, you weirdo? Etc. So that's a good place to start. Now, if you're already using a task management system for that kind of level of things, what I found is really helpful as the next level is to start to use the project side more. So what you can see we've got down on the left-hand side here is the different teams. So we have different teams for different areas of the business. So we've got a director one, which is specifically for Dave and I, for more managing strategic things. So you can see here it's got Dave and me. And then you've also got lettings and maintenance, sourcing and acquisitions, and we've got financial management, and then we've got property strategy, which is not to do with the investment business. So let's go into lettings and maintenance as an example. So what we have here is again, all the different team members that are working with us within the lettings and maintenance side. And we've got different projects here for all the different things that are going on. So when we're trying to find a new tenant, we create a new project to help us find that tenant. And it's a really good way to help to manage those thoughts or those tasks that are maybe not for you to do personally, but you need someone else to do. So let's take an example here. So the tenant find project here, we've got all the things that need to happen when a tenant changeover is taking place. So that's a really good way to see as an overview what is happening within that specific part of the business at any one time. So those are really good when you start to have more, particularly when you've got more team members working with you. One of the brilliant things that I found especially helpful in Asana is if you go to add a new project, you can do more than just have that linear downward list of projects. You can create a project board. So test project. Cool, and create that. This is really good because you have got the option here for not just a to-do list that goes downwards, but a to-do list that goes across as well. So I find this really helpful for when you're trying to plan the difference between like short-term things that need to happen and long-term. So it might be that you create a project where it's like high priority, medium priority, low priority. And then you can add different tasks that, so you write task 1, actually they said that's a medium priority one, so you can move these different tasks around just to help you to like get anything out of your brain that's buzzing around, particularly things that, it's not urgent, maybe you need to look into some new system or write a process. It's things that you can muddle through at the moment without them needing to happen. But it's just deciding which of those things are higher priority. And a lot of them might not actually have dates on them, so all of these as you go in, you can add a date, you can assign it to someone. So that's really, I found this really helpful for like brain dumping. If you've got like lists everywhere or notes from when you've been maybe to courses and you've not fully actioned things, you can brain dump them all in a project like this and go, okay, what's the high priority? So maybe what am I going to do over the next month? What's the medium priority? What am I going to do over the next, say, 2 to 6 months? And then low priority, maybe that's even further beyond. But it's a really good way to get things out of your mind that don't need to necessarily be actioned urgently, and also mean that they're not on your day-to-day to-do list. So with a test project, if I've ever got a project where I've got like this, lots of ideas and things that need to be done, but there's not a due date, I'll put a recurring task. So I'll have check in on test project to see what to do next. And then you can go in, you can assign it to me, due date today, and then you can create here we go, set to repeat. So you could repeat it weekly let's say every Monday, done. Every Monday, it will pop up on your Asana task list saying, check back in on this big important project that you haven't got any due dates on your task, and you can decide what the next priority is and maybe shift things around. I find this really helpful that, you've got your to-do list to help manage the day-to-day. Any other thoughts and ideas, bringing them all together in projects like this is a really good way to clear that headspace to be able to make better decisions. Hope that's helpful. Questions, comments, I'm happy to help. Just post below. This will change your life. If you can really get your task list working well, it will free you to make better decisions, be happier, switch off when you're not meant to be working, have a nice time with other people when you're out and about, and also make sure that you're not talking about who's paying that invoice when you're in bed with your partner. Let me know any questions.